Okay. Epilogue 5, Candy Chapter 22. Hey, John. Time for your regular checkup. Oh, hey. Oh, hey. Pretty tepid reception from a guy who has, in the past, begged desperately for even a scrap of my attention. I'm glad to hear from you. It's just, I don't know. A lot's happened recently. I'm sort of numb from all of it. So, tell me about it. What are you, my therapist now? No, I'm just a simple girl who loves the taste of your suffering. So hungry out here alone in Paradox Space, John. Please nourish me with your pathetic midlife and ennui. It's not midlife ennui. I'm not even 30 yet. Come on. Also, I'm married, so yeah. Well, what does that have to do with anything? Never mind. So what's up with you? Same old, same old. What are you doing right now? Oh, I'm at Harry Anderson's birthday party. Sounds important. Maybe I should let you go then. No, I mean, it's fine. I can talk for a bit. And leave Harry Anderson hanging? Wow, Egbert. You'd think an elderly man like you would know more about decorum than me, a rowdy youth. Harry Anderson is basically just a baby who doesn't understand anything. A baby kind of like you. So, who's Harry Anderson? Oh, that's me and Roxy's son. Oh, cool, you got born. Yeah, Terezi, you got born like 3 years ago. It's been that long? Wow. Yeah, wow is right. Where the hell have you been? Lost. Lost? How? Like, literally physically lost or metaphorically lost? Both, I guess. Terezi. Oh no, don't you dare use pitying ellipses at me, John Egbert. Sorry. It's kind of hard not to when every time I have no idea. When every time you go, I have no idea if I'll ever talk to you again. Okay, you're obviously not in a place to talk right now. I didn't contact you because I wanted to deal with your weepy separation anxiety. How about I make this easy for you and just log off? No, please don't go. I'm sorry for being all human and weepy. I'm actually in a pretty okay place for once, I think. Calm down, I wasn't finished. Listen, I'll text you back in 5 minutes. That'll give you some time to emotionally process the harrowing experience of actually hearing from me again. Promise me it'll only be 5 minutes. Why? Because I worry about you. I just don't want you to leave me hanging for another year, making me wonder if you're dead. Please? Ugh, fine. I hereby solemnly swear upon the book of dumb, needy losers that I will text you in exactly 5 minutes. Phew. Thank you. There's a lot of time passing in between these epilogues. Jesus. Okay, it's 5 minutes later. Don't tell me another 2 sweeps have passed. Nah, just a couple weeks. Oh boy, what a couple weeks, though. You would not believe what's happening right now. Have I ever not believed what's happening when you said I wouldn't? No, but to be fair, this one is especially wild. Here, wait, let me take a picture. John Egbert sent Terezi Pyre up the photo ghostrain.jpg. What the actual fuck? It started a few days ago. The sky above the capital of the Troll Kingdom just cracked open and ghosts began raining down everywhere. Actually, now that I think about it, I guess it started 3 years ago when a dead team version of Jade fell from the sky and crashed into the ground during a picnic. Huh. That only affected our group, though. This whole thing with the troll ghost has been a huge international incident. The political situation surrounding trolls was already tense enough without adding a gigantic population of immigrant ghost trolls to the mix. Wait, what happened? Well, because of what we know about Alternian history, the government decided it was probably a bad idea to let trolls reproduce freely, especially considering how different our planet is from Alternia. I suppose that makes sense. Without state-sanctioned culling, the troll population would quickly dominate the planet, and Earthsea doesn't strike me as the sort of place that would take kindly to a lot of culling. Yeah, that was part of the government's official argument. It's either this or culling, but it didn't stop there. Also, a bunch of laws have been passed that restrict the kind of jobs that trolls can have. Like, they're not allowed to serve in the government or rise a certain rank in the military. They can't even be judges. I know. It's pretty bad here. Considering the goal is to limit the spread and influence of trolls, this all seems like quite an Alternian solution. Well, Jane is sort of a key political player now. She's not in the government exactly, but she has so much money that she may as well be the government. Her company can basically do whatever it wants, and it seems more and more like what it wants is to make sure the politicians are saying exactly what it wants them to say. Huh. I always suspected she'd been swayed by the Condis more than she ever let on. Yeah, I guess she was. Although, I don't know, for some reason it doesn't feel right to me. I knew a grown-up version of Jane. She was my Nana. I never met her until she came back as a sprite, but she seemed like a kindly old grandma who liked to play pranks. Not a genocide fan. Not even close. I just can't believe how fast everything deteriorated. Don't tell me everyone's just taking this lying down. Of course not. Kanai and Rose are both heavily involved in grassroots activism right now, and Carcat, he's gone completely off the grid. At first, we all assumed that the reason he ran away was because he got fed up with this shitty poly relationship, which is probably part of it, honestly. But now I keep seeing his face on all the resistance posters. I think they may have actually put him in charge. I always knew he had it in him. Yeah. Dave's heartbroken, though. Why doesn't Dave just go and join him, then? I don't know. He worries about Jade, I guess? Jade would be fine. She's the most resilient out of all of you. You know how Dave is. Yeah, loyal to a fault. Yeah, Oh my god. Holy shit, hang on, I gotta take another picture. John Egbert sent Terezi Pyro the photo. pbnj.jpg. What the fuck is this? Don't type your laughs at me after tricking me into looking at this abomination. I thought you might find it interesting. Why would I ever want to see Gamzee making out with Tavros again? Again? Ugh, disgusting. In public and everything. Oh my god. Tavros? Really? What? Wait. Like Tavros? Or like Baby Tavros? Is he like kissing Baby Tavros on the head or something? Or... Oh, it's always in public. This is how Gamzee helps people have their redemption arcs. Okay, so is Tavros actually back? What the fuck? Oh my god, because all the ghosts are falling. This is going to shit. This is like getting so chaotic so fast. By making out with them? Well, not always. Sometimes he has them make out with each other. Usually he just feeds them the milk of that stupid baby bottle he keeps with him all the time. I think it's supposed to be like some completely idiotic form of baptism he made up. Ugh. Anyway, speaking of Tavros, what do you think about the mortality of kidnapping someone if they're really unhappy and possibly being abused? What? Okay, so like, if you kidnap someone and the situation you're kidnapping them into is way better than the one you kidnapped them out of, it's not morally wrong, right? John, are you trying to get me all aflustered with such highly illegal sweet talk? No. Are you flustered? Maybe, if I thought you would actually break the law. Hey, I could totally do it. I'll believe it when I smell it. Okay, I guess I'm gonna do it then. Sure. I'm totally gonna do it. Next time we talk, it'll be me telling you about my successful and highly illegal kidnapping venture. Whatever you say. Anyway, nice huddle, Egbert, but I have to go. Wait. What? You're going already? Barely said anything. You just listen to me ramble about Earthsea's problems. Isn't that how these conversations usually go? Yeah, I guess it is. But it doesn't have to be like that, you know? So, what's going on with you? Did it occur to you that maybe the reason I call you is because I want a brief reprieve from what's going on with me? Oh. Yeah, that makes sense. I just don't want you to feel like you're like my psychiatrist or whatever. Aw, that's cute. Don't worry about me, John. If you were bugging me, I'd just stop texting. Well, Cool. If I'm not bugging you then, can I ask you a favor? It's certainly within your power to ask a favor. I can't promise to fulfill it. Ugh, now I feel even dumber for what I'm about to ask. I don't know if I want to do it right now. Ugh, out with it, Egbert. Fine. I'll do it. Whatever it is. Just so you can cease this maddening nerd boy insecurity. Okay. Can you take a selfie? What? And send it to me? Oh my god, I probably sound so creepy right now. Hey, don't laugh. Look, it's just that after all the talking we've done over the years, you're pretty important to me, Terezi, and with everything getting so weird, I've been getting scared lately. So in case things go to shit over here, things go to shit wherever you are, I just want to make sure I have something to remember you by. Oh. So will you do it? Terezi doesn't answer, which is what John was expecting. He frowns and pockets his phone, blinking at the sudden brightness above him. The sky is ripped open in a dozen places, spilling ghosts and razor shards of unreality. John shields his face against the neon glare and scans the park for his family. Roxy and Calliope usually come listen to Gamzee preach, and John's long since grown tired of trying to talk them out of it. Best he can do at this point is tag along to make sure that young Harry Anderson isn't hearing all this utter nonsense without the tempering influence of his skeptical father. It's the responsible adult thing to do. Well, it would be the responsible adult thing to do if John were actually doing it. Instead, he just spent the last 10 minutes surreptitiously texting Terezi under the hem of his suit jacket. Now he's lost track of his wife, his son, and his wife's sort of ex-girlfriend in the enraptured throng of all these brainless clown worshippers. The crowd is mostly ghosts, but there's a substantial number of carapacian and human citizens out here tonight as well, straining to get a good look at their newly redeemed acolytes. John's eyes wander toward the center of the crowd's focus. Looks like a conversation is taking place right now. Now we welcome into the dope arms of the Mother Redemption this lowly pension who's all kinds of sorry about his past deeds. Aridin. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm gonna have to start doing a lot more voices. Okay. Evident. How the fuck do I do an Aridin voice? Oh yeah, I'm very redeemed. And Pfeffrey. By the way, I see all the Sea Dwellers as, like, British. That's just kind of, I don't know why, that's just always how I've read them. A lot of people make, like, Aridin British, but not a lot of the others. All the Sea Dwellers to me, Aridin, Pfeffrey, Mina, I don't know, the other ancestor that was a Sea Dweller. All of them are British. Oh, fucking Cronus. That's why I couldn't remember, because who the fuck wants to remember Cronus? All of them are British to me. It is what it is, how it is. It's simply... Anyway. Are you sure? I don't know what fucking voices I'm doing for that. Well, we'll figure it out as we go, okay? Just excuse... It's gonna sound bad for a while. Pfeff, you don't believe me. What do I have to fucking do? Crawl on the fucking ground at your feet? Snorting and snuffling at your shoes like a mushroom-sniffing pork fiend? Sizing up those covetous, sweaty delicates stuffed within like a couple of premium shrimp loaves garnished with 10 exquisite pygmy soiree wieners? I'm a worm, Pfeff. I'm the lowest of the worst. Okay, if that's really how you feel, I guess I can accept your apology. Nice. This is what I'm talking about. All this forgiveness and shit up in the motherfucking house. After all, what's a little murder between morals? I guess that's true. It happens to the best of us. You both are so close to the redemption now. First, a little righteous splash of the nana nectar to cleanse all that dankness from your souls. Gamzee takes a baby bottle and flicks it, covering them both with little drops of milk, as clergy does with holy water. He then takes a swig from the bottle himself before returning it to his codpiece. Ow. Kiss my motherfuckers. Finally. Pucker up, Pfeff, and plants one on me. You gotta. It's the rules. The motherfucker's right. It'll be fucking critical to both your redemption, to kiss and make up. If it's for the redemption, then very well. Fuck yeah. Rub-a-dub-dub, come gimme a glub. John makes a disgusted face as Gamzee grabs the two trolls by a horn each and mashes their faces together. One of them looks extremely into it. The other, not so much. John would have been transfixed by the spectacle for longer if his phone didn't start buzzing in his pocket again. He fumbles it out of his coat and checks. Terezi Pyrope sent John Egbert the photo. Here.jpg. He looks around, then presses accept, embarrassed to realize how fast his heart is beating. Before he can look at the photo, a familiar voice breaks through the din of the crowd. Yo, John, over here, hon. John puts his phone away quickly. Roxy's holding Harry Anderson up on her shoulder. John can see his son's face, grinning and bright-eyed, bobbing above the crowd. He returns the smile and starts to make his way toward his wife. Just then, a dark shadow passes over the park. The crowd falls silent as they raise their heads to watch a drone ship pass by overhead. Its design is insect-like, splitting into many jagged branches, each decked out with weapons and cameras. It's completely silent, and encased in armor with a bright red finish, smooth and seamless. It's often cited by Jane as the crown jewel of Crocker Corp's various military contracts with the government. John reunites with his family and takes Harry Anderson from Roxy. The toddler buries his face in John's chest to escape the horrible sight crawling across the sky above them. Calliope clasps her hands together and stares at the ship with a terse expression. It's getting less and less unusual to see those in the Troll Kingdom, isn't it? Yeah. I can't help but think the government's getting ready for something big. No, John. You worry too much. Janie's got her head on straight. She'll show you yet. Ugh, let's not talk about this right now. Yeah, you're right. It's getting late anyway. We should head home. See you next week, Callie? Oh, yes. Always, Roxy. That night, after he and Roxy put Harry Anderson to bed, and Roxy retires to their room for the evening, John goes to his office and prints out the picture of Terezi. He doesn't have any nice photo paper to print it on, so it comes out too dark with the colors all smeared. He scrubs the printer history when he's finished. When his anxiety is assuaged, he flops down in the spiny chair at the center of the room and studies the picture. Terezi doesn't look that much different from how he remembers her. A little worn, maybe, thinner and older and more tired, but it's her. She's smiling and holding up her hand in a cheeky wave that suggests neither a greeting or a farewell. The light from the phone screen is reflected in her glasses. John can't see her eyes. He folds the pictures into quarters and slips it into his wallet behind Harry Anderson's baby photo. Then he turns off the light and goes to bed. Chapter 23. Honey, you ready to go? Yeah, sweetheart. Give me a second. John finishes fixing his tie in the bedroom mirror, taking a moment to check the hallway door in the reflection. Roxy hasn't come looking for him, which is good because he's still got a few things to prepare, and he'd rather she didn't see the items he's about to pull out of their closet. He hasn't told his wife what he's planning because he doesn't want to be talked out of it. Typically, he rankles at the prospect of spending time with Jane and her family, so Roxy was surprised when he agreed to hold Harry Anderson's 5th birthday party at Jane's mansion. But she didn't question him about it. In fact, all she did was tip her head at him and blink a few times, her long eyelashes catching the light, making her look like mirrors. Her eyes look like mirrors. It was disconcerting for reasons he couldn't put his finger on. It's not like Roxy has ever been argumentative exactly. He just seems to remember someone from his youth who was somewhat more contrarian in spirit than the person he's married to now. Back when they were dating, John thought she was acting a little off. Not quite in a bad way, but perhaps a little too in love too fast. At least she seemed like herself still most of the time. But since the wedding, every year that goes by, she seems to become just a little more conciliatory. Not just towards him, but toward life in general. She indulges Harry Anderson liberally and almost thoughtlessly. She doesn't care that her best friend is slowly turning into an executive overseeing the corporate arm up the puppet ass of a ruthless dictatorship. She still thinks that Gamzee is being sincere about all this redemption bullshit, even though he's been casting an increasingly dark and hungry shadow behind Jane, a malicious royal vizier to her burgeoning imperial persona. John's been frustrated with it in a quiet, guilty way because he loves his wife, and even more than that, he loves their son. When he doesn't think too hard about all this stuff, it seems perfect. But sometimes, John can't help but lie awake at night, staring at the dark ceiling until he loses the grip on his perfect life entirely. He starts to fear that if he closes his eyes, he might reopen them to discover it was all an illusion. Harry Anderson, Earthsea, Lord English's alleged defeat, or maybe stretching even further back than that. The trolls, the game, everything important and exciting that's ever happened to him. Was it all a lie? Like some big prank? No. At least some of it had to be real. Dave, Jade, and Rose are real. Their friendship is real. At least it used to feel that way. He needs to believe it still is. And what about Terezi? She's real too, and John's got that picture to prove it, burning a hole in his wallet. Yet he keeps it there because at least that feels like something. It's the same feeling that makes him do subtle things to push against his wife's placid demeanor. He never quite tries to start a fight, but at this point he wouldn't mind having one either. At least it might help reassure him that she's real too. If she doesn't get upset after what he's about to pull today, then John doesn't know what he'll do. He goes to the closet and unhinges the bottom of the drawer where he keeps all of his identical blue ties. In this secret compartment are some tools: graphene wire, a multi-tool screwdriver, molding plaster. John's so focused on finding places in his closet to hide all these things that he doesn't hear footsteps behind him. Oh boy. I guess, I don't know why I didn't expect to hear, like, these kids talk. What is it, like, aren't they only, like, a few years old? I'm talking full-ass sentences? Or maybe I missed that there, like, a couple more years or something went by. Either way. Dad? What are you doing? John spins around, startled. It's just his kid, though, already looking uncomfortable in his tweed jacket and knee socks. John kicks the closet door closed. He already has everything he needs anyway. Just getting your gifts, Harry Anderson. It's your birthday, after all. But I already opened all the gifts from you and Mom. Dad, are you telling a fib? John ruffles his son's hair and shoots him one of his patented Egbertian winks. He decides then and there that a good father wouldn't need to keep any secrets from his son. No, a good dad will always let his son in on a joke, no matter how much trouble he might be about to get himself in. Harry Anderson, don't tell your mother, but we're getting a new addition to the family today. It's little Tavros Crocker who opens the door to Jane's opulent mansion. He's still so short that he has to stand on his toes to reach the knob. He stares up at his visitors with a serious expression, the prescription on his spectacles distorting the size of his pupils so that they look like big, wet, depressing sinkholes. John's heart wrenches at the sight of him. He's so young, but he always looks so somber and sad. Oh, hello, folks. You're quite early, don't you think? Nope. Actually. Dave and Jade materialize behind everyone. He in a pressed red suit, she in a glittering space dress. They're both holding gifts wrapped in spare printer paper. Dave adjusts his sunglasses and smirks at Harry Anderson. You were exactly 30 seconds and like 68 nanoseconds early. Oh, F off, Dave. You're getting even cornier than John, and you're not even a dad. I don't know, my guy Harry over there seems to be enjoying my material. It's like you're a living atomic clock. Man, I love this kid. What kind of 5-year-olds is into atomic clocks? Damn, every time I see him, I just want to pinch his cheeks and tell him about what things were like when I was his age and shit. If you like kids so much, Dave, why don't you just buy one? Jade, I know what you think you were doing there was like smoothly inserting the idea of us one day adopting kids into the conversation, but what you actually just described is literal slavery, which is both illegal and bad. Maybe you're the one who's illegal and bad. Ever think of that? Nope, never once crossed my mind. Anyway, John, Roxy, you heard the lady. You heard the lady. We can buy your kid. Anyway, John, Roxy, you heard the lady. Can we buy your kid? No, he's not for sale. Do you all want to come in or not? Tavros has been waiting patiently for the adults to finish talking the whole time, like he always does. He leads everyone inside with a stoic countenance for more befitting of a footman than the firstborn son of the planet's wealthiest family. So, where's your mom and dad? They're still in, auspices counseling with Uncle Gamzee. Oh, woof. Woof is right. Hey, Tavros, is Vriska here? Unfortunately, Harry Anderson, Rose, and Kanaya aren't on speaking terms with your Aunt Janie and Uncle Jake anymore. Why not? Roxy sighs loudly through her nose. She hates talking about this shit. 'Cause of the political situation. What's a political situation? Mother has been advising the human government that they should do their best to, exclude trolls from the seats of power in all branches of public service, and, Aunt Rose and Kanaya don't like it because some of the legislation in the works could, delegitimize their marriage. I have no idea what any of that means. The adults exchange confused looks. It's more than a little jarring that this 5-year-old kid seems so well educated on the intricacies of xenophobic political policy. But then again, this is Jane's son, they remind themselves. Anyway, why would you want Vriska to be here? Why ruin a nice birthday party? Duh, 'cause she's super fun. She's not fun, she's mean. Yeah, to you 'cause you're a wuss. Harry Anderson Egbert. Don't call other kids wusses. Hey, what's even wrong with being a wuss? Harry, my dude, you need to unplug from toxic masculinity. From what? What have you been teaching this kid? Dave, sometimes I really can't believe this is the adult you chose to become. It's actually great, isn't it? Yeah, I guess so. Dave ruffles Harry Anderson's hair. It's nice that Dave is so woke and great with kids, but that really does invite the question of why he and Jade don't have any yet. There's still something sad and wistful about Dave at the moment, as he pointedly avoids letting Jade take his hand while they're led into the game room. Jade and Dave still laugh and trade barbs with each other like old friends, but there's something disconcertingly sterile about it. John can't help but think about the last time they were all together like this in Jade's mansion, and the look on Karkat's face when he stormed out of the foyer. Everyone settles down in the game room except Tavros, who stands by the door with his arms folded back behind his back as if waiting to be ordered around. Harry Anderson is opening his gifts from Jade and Dave when a door upstairs slams open so hard it rattles all the crystal glasses arranged on the nearby table. You are such an unbelievable dunce, Jake English. I can't believe I worked so hard and have to come home to your feckless tomfoolery every day. My goodness, what gives you the right to talk to me that way? Jake's side of the conversation is too far away to hear, but Gamzee's unmistakable mush-mouth voice floats down the hallway between the sharp edges of Jane's shrieks. And you're not even proficient in bed anymore. What is even the point of you if... Hey, calm your tits, baby. Silence, clown. Tavros stares at his feet, wearing a strained expression. It's fine. My parents are kiss misses after all. Jane storms downstairs. Her guests are completely silent as the sound of her heels echoes down the hall. She steps into the room, her face still twisted in rage and disgust. The moment her eyes fall over her gathered friends, however, Her expression changes like someone flipping a switch. She smiles, looking cordial and perfectly pleasant, fluttering her lashes like there's nothing in the world more important than her being an excellent host. Oh, hello everyone. I'm sorry that I was not able to greet you at the door. I had some pre-appointed business to attend to. I trust that Tavros led you all inside without trouble. Yes, ma'am. Good boy. Jane pats him on the head as she goes by, patronizingly like you'd pet a dog. Or Gamzee. Harry Anderson, my dear. Auntie Jane. Jane stoops down to her knees and throws her arms open. Harry Anderson bolts across the room and throws himself into her ample chest, nuzzling into her cheek as she laughs and ruffles his hair fondly. John turns his head aside so that no one sees the queasy face he's making. Jane is unfortunately Harry Anderson's favorite aunt. She gained his affection the same way she gains everyone's affection. She fucking bought it. Look at you. You've gotten so big and strong since I last saw you. I grew a whole 3 inches. Yes, I can see that. You're going to be quite the strapping young man before we know it. Since it's your first milestone birthday, I've instructed my staff that you were to be spoiled like a little prince today. Right now they're finishing off your cake. It's a recipe I've invented just for you. Gosh. And I've got your present all wrapped up too. It's too big to keep in the house, however, so after cake and tea, we'll go see it in the backyard. You're the best, Auntie Jane. Oh, no. Jane, please don't tell me you commissioned one of those drone thingies for my son. Jane rises to her feet, huffing. And if I did, John, what would be the problem with that? Are you saying you don't want to assure your son's safety? In troubled times such as these, one can never be too careful. Roxy, back me up here, honey. There's no way you'd be okay with that, right? Roxy fiddles with one of her earrings and casts her gaze around the room, looking at every and anything but her husband. Dave and Jade are also developed a profound interest in the patterns woven into the expensive carpet under their feet. Well, I can't say I'm comfy with it, but... Janie means well, John, and it'd be rude to just refuse a gift from my bestie like that. Besides, you're just assuming she got Harry Anderson an Imperial drone. She never said that was what it was. Did you, Jane? Jane's tight-jawed silence confirms that she did indeed have a literal instrument of government oppression crafted for their son on the momentous occasion of his 5th birthday. John has to pinch his nose and practice controlled breathing to keep himself from getting mad for real. Getting in an argument right now would totally fuck up all of his plans. Okay, fine. You know what? I don't care. Really? Yeah. It's whatever. I get it. Jane's just trying to show that she cares. You know I adore little Harry Anderson. What I do care about, however, is that cake. And not eating it, I mean. Excuse me? Nothing personal, Jane. It's just that I'm not the biggest fan of cakes. Instead, I was wondering if we could go visit the trophy room. You know, the one where Jake keeps all the memorabilia from that dumb show he used to be on. You mean Poppin' and Hoppin' Pistol Lockin' with Jake English? No. Or do you mean doing the Charleston with notable social figureheads, stars versus enemies of the state with your host, Jake English? That one's still running, isn't it? Unfortunately, yes. Yeah, that's definitely not the one I was talking about. Oh, you probably mean afternoon gilly gaffy amongst the common folk with your host, Jay Gishy Gun McGee. No. God, these all sound so bad. I mean the one with Dirk. Dude. You mean the classic primetime program Rumble into Pumpkin Patch? Yeah, that one. Ew. Why do you want to go look at stuff from Rumble into Pumpkin Patch? Or why not? I don't know. It just seems kind of morbid with Dirk dead and all, don't you think? Also, that show was really gross. I support Jake in whatever he does, but it was so sweaty. Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like it was an important cultural milestone, and I missed it all by being mopey and depressed for like 5 years straight. What do you think, Tavros? Want to show me all about your dad's glory days? Tavros blinks up at John in surprise. Oh, I can take you there, John. No! I mean, No, that's fine. I'd like some time to get to know my nephew. Or, cousin, ecto brother. Oh my god, Dave, I just realized that when we get married, that'll make John and Rose siblings-in-law. Which is funny, since I guess John is technically already your father-in-law. Yep, that's totally what our friend group needs. To be even more incestuous. What does incestuous mean? It means that everyone's really good friends, Harry Anderson. Just a dumb fancy word for BFFs. It's a big hard word for grown-ups, though, so feel free to unknow it now, sweetie. Oh, yeah, that's totally it. Hey, Tavros, let's go, buddy. John sets his hands on Tavros' back and pushes him out of the room. When they're upstairs together, far enough away from the party, Tavros wrenches his hands together and asks, Uncle John, what's the real reason we're up here? Oh, I could see that you were getting uncomfortable. You don't like being around big crowds like that, do you? But you don't like being alone either? Well, not in this house at least. I wouldn't want to be alone here either. It's not a very nice place to live, is it? I'm not sure I understand your meaning, Uncle John. Here, come with me. John grabs Tavros by his chubby wrists and begins dragging him around the corner, from one featureless white hallway into another. This isn't the right way. I know. Hey, Tavros, why don't we just go to your room for a minute? Uh-oh. Tavros tugs on John's hand and leads him back a few steps. With his free hand, he pushes a door open, revealing a large, tidy bedroom. 4-poster bed, perfectly arranged bookshelf, not a single toy out of place on the floor. The room obviously belongs to a 5-year-old, judging by the colorful wallpaper and irreverent clown-themed bedsheets, but there's nothing in it to suggest individualized expression of a developing personality. Tavros sighs, his facial expression unchanging. He looks resigned to life in general, as well as whatever it is he's expecting from this particular situation. Wait, what is he expecting from this situation? Having been led away to a secluded part of the house by an adult? What has he been taught to expect? Tavros, is everything okay? Yes, Uncle John, why do you ask? You just seem, I don't know, sad? I feel okay. It is a happy day after all. It's Harry Anderson's birthday. There's a good reason to be happy. Yeah, but what about you? Are you actually happy about it? About everything going on here? I suppose my mother tends to get displeased when I'm unhappy, so... John walks a little further into the room, inspecting the surroundings. He can hardly find a single fault. Not a wrinkle in the sheets, nor a... John looks down. He takes a step back to set his foot on the part of the floor he just stepped on. He lifts it again with some tacky resistance tugging at the sole of his shoe. The floor is sticky here, like the floor of a movie theater. He bends down to touch it and give it a sniff. Just as he thought. Fago. Tavros, does Gamzee ever come into your room? Possibly. He so often is found to be in so many places. John glances under the bed, then sees it. A half-finished bottle of Fago. Isn't that his Fago there? Oh, no. Please, Uncle John, don't tell my mother. Tell her what? Fago is mine. My uncle gives it to me sometimes. My mother strictly forbids it, of course. John nervously ponders this response and everything about the boy's life could be implying. He takes a deep breath and becomes very serious. He places a hand on Tavros' shoulder and looks him directly in the eye. Tavros, listen to me. Are you getting bad touched by your Uncle Gamzee? Tavros seems taken aback by the question, then appears thoughtful. Oh, no. But, yes, I can gather how you might draw a conclusion. You can? Why? It just seems like the thing that will eventually happen to me, does it not? A look of sadness washes over John's face. Sadness than either kind he could summon for the previous 2 funerals he's attended. What would make you say that?
Well, I think for the same reason that led you yourself to wonder, Uncle John. He's a very, very bad clown uncle. But I think I'm not allowed to say that or think such a thing.
Why not?
Because Uncle Gamzee has undertaken his redemption arc with a spirit of great sincerity, I've been told. So, the truth is, no matter how I may feel about him, Mother tells me he's actually bad, and therefore anything he does cannot truly be considered bad either. Otherwise, we are not respecting his repentance or the others he has saved.
Tavros sighs again. John makes no effort to disguise his look of grave disapproval and sorrow.
I don't want you to worry too much, though. His occasional sojourns in my room are not of any especially ill intent, I don't think. He has told me in confidence that his intention is to train me.
Train you?
Yes, in matters of combat, philosophy, life, love. I suppose to behave the way a mentor does, as he sees it.
Anger wells up in John anew. He gets to his feet in a flurry, a literal one. A gust of wind whisks through the room, clattering open the closet door and rustling a perfectly arranged stack of papers off the desk. They flutter through the room like dead leaves caught in an autumn storm. Soon the room is howling with his sustained winds. That's it. Tavros, start packing right now.
Packing?
Yeah. One bag with some of your clothes, your favorite toys and books, that kind of thing.
I don't understand.
Tavros, I have to get you out of here. Now.
What?
I'm going to take you away so you can live with me, Harry Anderson, and your Aunt Roxy. You wouldn't have to live here anymore. No more being alone all the time. No more weird troll mage or listening to your parents fight. And no more Uncle fucking Gamzee.
That does sound jolly good, Uncle John.
Then what are you waiting for? Start packing.
Well, I would, except that we can't go out without tripping the security. Mother is taking great precautions to make sure I never...
Don't worry, kid. I came prepared. John produces his screwdriver and a length of wire from the inside pocket of his suit jacket. Leaving through that window, one way or another. Tavros takes in a sharp breath before spinning on his heel and stumbling toward his closet. John catches the ghost of a smile on his face before he turns, and that's all it takes to turn the pounding of his heart from terrified to thrilled. Yes, what he's about to do will probably send shockwaves through their already fragmented friend group, but Jane's the one who started it. She brought this on herself. John starts opening the window, using all the tricks he's memorized from tutorials on Deep Web to bypass the security bolt. He whistles to himself, thinking about how happy Tavros is going to be with him. Roxy, and Harry Anderson. Jane barely even seems to like the kid. But Jake does. Jake loves him, even though he was totally trapped into this unhappy relationship because of the pregnancy. So it seems to John the only way to save Jake from this unspeakable prison is to subtract the only thing he cares about. Roxy will be mad at first, but John is certain she'll what? Acquiesce? Is that really what he wants? He considers with a sense of guilt how exhilarating it would be if she finally fought him on something. John starts laughing to himself when the window pops open suddenly. No alarm goes off. The deep web was right. Fresh summer air rushes in and fills John's lungs. His head swims with the giddy, high feeling of being on the verge of getting away with some shit. Wow, is this why people commit crimes? It feels so good. He can't wait to tell Terezi that he's done something so bold and illegal. He starts laughing louder. Tavros is laughing too, quiet and cautious at first, but picking up steam as he begins to taste the sort of freedom he never allowed himself to imagine. John turns, shocked to see Jade standing in the bedroom doorway. She looks like a shadow with her dark hair hiding her face. John can't tell what kind of expression she's making under there. She speaks softly. John, what are you doing? Nothing. Just fixing this damn broken window is all. She twitches her dog ears and raises her face. Her mouth is a neutral line, but her eyes are burning furiously. I heard everything. The two of them stare at each other for a long time. John isn't sure how he's supposed to read this moment. He used to know Jade better than he knew anyone, but in recent years, she's passed him by just like the rest of the world. Tavros is cowering in his closet, fiddling with the strap on his backpack. So, what are you gonna do? Tell Jade? Jade flinches like she's been hit. She flicks her tail, breaks eye contact. John, I wouldn't do that to you. You'd probably end up on Jake's stupid execution dance-off show. Then, are you gonna help me? She shakes her head. I can't do that either. You know that this is just gonna make everything worse, right? Jade, I don't know where you've been the past few years, but I don't think things can get any worse. I mean, even today, Jane was up here hollering at Jake about how his dick doesn't work right when she knew we were all waiting for them downstairs. I know, but all you're gonna do by kidnapping him is piss everyone off. Excuse me, dearest aunt, but is it kidnapping if I badly would like to go? See? I understand where you're coming from, but I don't think you've actually thought this through. Yes, I have, because I've been planning it for years. I know that I've been pretty, flaky in the past, but this is really important. I know what I'm doing. Jade sighs in frustration and pushes back her bangs. John, Jane is one of the most powerful people on the entire planet. Do you really think you can keep him away from her if she wants to get him back? I'm sorry, but you just don't know them like I do. If you know them so well, Jade, then you know why I have to do this. I'm on your side here. I know that Jane hasn't been the best parent. But stealing somebody's child? There has to be another way. A gust of wind blasts in through the window and blows back Jade's hair, leaving all mussed over her shoulders. John points at her. If there was another way, we would have found it by now. But there isn't one, because everyone's been all brainwashed by marriage or whatever the hell happened over the last few years that made things be this way. It's like everyone just talks past each other all the time. John, I'm the only one who seems to realize that there's something wrong. I'd be really chuffed to sue you. Even you, Jade. You're not listening to me right now. Would stop quarreling and listen to me for a spell? That's why Carcat left, because you didn't listen to him. Just like you don't listen to Dave. What the fuck, John? This isn't about me and Dave. Yes, it is. I mean, not directly, but cosmically. Yeah, it is. Cosmically? You knew that Dave and Carcat were in love with each other, but you went ahead and totally messed with their relationship anyway. What? Jade, don't pretend you have no idea what happened. I can't believe. John, that's such a low blow. You don't know the first thing about me and Dave's relationship. I know more than you think I do. I know that you pressured them into that whole relationship. I know they both hated it and only went along with it because they care about you and felt obligated. Jade, I love you, but honestly, how does that make you any different than Jade? Or Jane? I'm nothing like her. Well, you're nothing like the Jade I used to know either. The wind in the room picks up. It skates against the walls, dislodges books from the bookshelf, gets under the bed sheets, and balloons them off the mattress. The Jade I used to know was caring and selfless. All you ever wanted was for your friends to be safe. You weren't this selfish. Oh, is that what this is about, John? You don't like that I'm not some helpless princess in a tower anymore? You don't like that I'm doing things for myself now? What the hell are you talking about? Seriously, Jade, I don't even know who you are anymore. Well, I can certainly say the same for you right now. And Jade, Uncle John, you should really, John and Jade stop. There's another shadow cast in the doorway, a much darker one. Excuse me. she says in a sugar-sweet voice. But what the fuck is going on here?
Oh, no. Jane, we were just hollering at each other so loudly that everyone in the darn house can hear you.
Oh, like you're one to talk.
John, I know that we have not been as close in recent years as we were in the past, but I would like to think that at the very least our familiar relationship would make it so that you felt you could talk to me face to face if you think that my method of parenting is insufficient.
Are you sure? Do you really want to know what I think?
Oh, no. Please, John, illuminate me.
A lash of wind whips from window to door and down the hall in time to meet the rest of the partygoers, now including Jake Crocker himself. They've all come upstairs to investigate the noise. Tavros flinches when a book slams against the closet door, 2 inches from his face. What's going on? Ah, shit. I don't know, Jane. I feel like if I really speak my mind here, it might be dangerous. How do I know you won't have the secret police come and arrest me in the night?
Excuse me?
That's where this is all going, right? Your whole thing with the trolls?
If you have something to say, then say it plainly, John.
Fine. I don't think that you had bad intentions to start out with, Jane. In fact, I think that you probably honestly thought that you were doing what was best for the world. You've always been a perfectionist, right? But over the last few years, you've morphed into a complete control freak. And it all started with your relationship with Jake. Forced him into a relationship when Dirk's corpse wasn't even cold. I would like to point out.
I'm sorry, you're calling me a control freak? Dirk was the control freak. After he died, I distinctly remember loosening up, in fact. I let go. I was actually relieved to hear he died.
Janie, what?
Okay, that was a misleading statement. What I really meant was,
Jane, you're missing the point. Jane and I were involved in a romantic dalliance at the time of his death. Dirk is dead. This isn't about him anymore. You're the one cheering the government along as it marches toward genocide.
John, I hardly think you're qualified to opine on the nuances of the current political situation. Thank you very much.
Is that how you talk to your husband, too?
He's actually at the moment my kismesis. And if Jake didn't want any of this, he shouldn't have knocked me up.
Hello, chaps. I am right here. Oh, yeah, like that was such an accident. Can you honestly say that he wanted any of this? The wind rises with the pitch of John's yelling, turning Tavros' bedroom into a miniature tempest. The gale upends the bookshelf, snaps open the toy box, and sends all the debris spinning in every direction, smashing against the walls and the bedposts. John doesn't seem to notice, encased in his own cyclonic armor. Oh my god. I'm so sick of all this domestic relationship shit every fucking day. Can we talk about something else for once? Yeah, Dave, I'm sick of it too. That's my point. Okay, then John, can you just stop all this windy shit at least? No, I can't. I can't stop because I'm not the problem.
Are you saying that I'm the problem? That's extremely reductive.
Okay, yeah, there are lots of problems here. But I've got to say, Jane, you kind of are the problem. A lot of this awful garbage revolves around you. You're the one always selling everybody on Gamzee's redemption arc, which is total bullshit. Putting him on billboards or organizing redemption rallies and...
John, the people need something to believe in. If we were to live in an organized society, you simply wouldn't understand.
And letting him sleep in you and Jake's bed? And feeding him that weird milk all the time. Ugh!
Hey, my relationship with loyal auspices is none of your business, let alone who it is I decide to share a bed with. Isn't it?
You sure go out of your way to shove it in everyone's face.
John, that is just uncalled for.
It's bullshit, Jane. It's all bullshit. The wind surges again. The window bangs open so hard that it smashes against the pane, sending shards of glass whipping through the storm. Everyone cowers from the rain of sharp projectiles. John catches what he is doing when he sees how terrified the kids look. He shuts his eyes and digs his fingernails into his palms, doing everything in his power to calm himself down. When he opens his eyes again, the room is completely destroyed. Tavros is all the way in his closet, clinging white-knuckled to the edge of the door. Everyone else is clustered around the doorway. Jade stares at John with a dark expression. After a beat of silence, Harry Anderson starts crying. Roxy won't meet his eyes. Dave won't either. John turns to Tavros, opening his mouth to apologize, but the kid just ducks deeper into the closet, trembling. I'm sorry. No one wants to hear it, John. John staggers a few steps toward the broken window. His vision is blurring beneath a pool of angry tears that he can't hold back anymore. He wipes his face with both hands, all sloppy and clumsy, the way he used to cry when he was a kid. He doesn't open his eyes again until he's jumped through the open window. The sky outside is dark. He flies higher and higher, high enough that the air starts to get thin and chilly. Up here, the human kingdom looks so small. He can see the sun setting over the curvature of the earth, a brilliant arc of orange and red. It's like looking down at a little toy city, a ship in a bottle. That's what the world feels like now. A tiny fake model planet living inside a bubble. Look too hard and the illusion cracks around the edges, like the black hole in John's anime dreams. There's a trembling in his hands that he hasn't felt in years. He looks up at the glimmering stratosphere and imagines punching through it, piercing through it. Would that pop the bubble, he wonders? Or would he go hurtling through space forever? He's contemplating that, just flying up as far as he can until he flies into the sun or stops existing or whatever. Until he realizes that his phone is buzzing in his pocket. He takes it out, almost drops it because of how cold his hands are. His breath is frosting in the air as he looks at the screen. The color of the text sends a jolt through his blood. With shaking fingers, he answers the text.
John, you there? I really need to talk to someone right now.
Yeah, me too. That was a long chapter, actually. I don't know how this is going to be resolved. John's right, though. Like, it's very clear that everything in the Candy timeline is fucked up. Like Meat was kind of fucked, but Candy is fucked up. Like, shit is not right. I really want to know where they're going with this. Like, obviously this can't be resolved by the end of the epilogues, right? There's not that much of it left. So, oh man, I'm so curious. The way that Meat ended was very much setting up for the sequel. Oof, how is this going to do the same thing? Oh, let's move on. I want to get to the end of this so bad because I just want to see what's going to happen. Also, I'm really excited to get to the sequel because I am enjoying this. I'm enjoying it a lot, but I genuinely miss the comic panels. Like, I actually do really miss the visual style of Homestuck. I miss the art. So, as much as I'm enjoying reading this, I'm so ready to get back to the comic medium. Also, sorry if my my voices for the kids were like cringe and bad. I tried my best. But anyway. Chapter 24.
The timelines are interacting again. Ooh, do you hear anything interesting inside?
Don't be so nosy, Aradia. Aradia throws her legs over the edge of the ancient meteor facility and kicks them out into open space. Far below her feet, the meteor is wildly overgrown. It landed here millions of years ago, after its fateful 3-year journey, when it hosted several trolls and humans as they had a variety of critical coming-of-age experiences. It will stay here for millions more years, where it will remain indefinitely on a barren, desolate Earth sea, waiting to host a single cherub child chained to its bedroom. Wait. But for now it holds these three. Wait. It will stay here for millions more years while it will remain indefinitely on a barren, desolate Earth sea, waiting to host a single cherub child. This is the Earth that Calliope and Caliborn. I never even, pieced that slightly together. That's good. That's good. Dead Jade, whose body also happens to be hosting a cherub at the moment, is doing the same thing she does every day. Sitting with her legs crossed and her eyes closed, using her still teenage body to scry into the abyss. The light from the outer rim of the stratosphere casts her face in powdery blue light. It's certainly a more becoming avatar for Calliope, most would find. The Calliope who Roxy calls a friend in her moments of greatest self-reproach would die for a body like this. The version of Calliope who's been dead for eons, however, waiting for exactly this moment in history to reinstate her corporeal presence, couldn't care less about her host's appearance. It is simply serving a functional vessel for the crucial role she now must play. What would you classify as interesting? The usual. Death, romance, astounding feats of destruction and chaos. Tell us what's happening in the dream bubbles, oh great muse. Please don't. Very well. Let's see. I think I'm dying. Oh no! What happened? Nothing. That's the problem. I've been out here for so long, I can't even remember how much time has passed. I'm out of supplies, and I have no idea where I am. And I'm starting to think some really crazy things. Like, maybe none of it's real? Yes. How did you know? I've been thinking the same thing too recently. Lots of crazy, crazy things. And keeping them to myself is making me feel crazy, so the thoughts just get crazier. Yeah. I can't remember the sound of anyone's voice but my own. Well, your voice is pretty unforgettable. Are you nagging me, Egbert? Maybe. Pretty half-assed. But I'm flattered you think my voice is adorable. No, I was obviously implying that your voice was annoying. Come on. I got that. But since it was a lame nag, you were actually suggesting the opposite, which means you think it's cute, right? I'm sorry, Your Honor, but the defense would like to plead the right to, stop talking about this. First of all, as I've already explained on numerous occasions, defense isn't a thing in my culture. Exactly what candy-ass legal tradition are you trying to reference here? I don't know. I just said a thing that sounded kind of lawyery. You know, as a joke. You remember jokes still, Terezi? Or did you forget those too? I'm just curious about the pathetically soft legal traditions of your old planet. One can at least hope your new planet has figured out a judicial system that has some more teeth. Yeah, I think Earthsea has been getting there lately. You have no idea how much this warms my pump biscuit to hear. Well, I'm glad you're getting a kick out of it. Please, John. I don't have much anymore. Just let me have this. Okay. For someone who's suffering so much, you sure seem like you're still full of piss and vinegar out there. You sure you're dying? Yeah, I'm sure. Aradia leans over and sticks her nose in Dead Jade's face. She watches how her eyebrows wrinkle at the center just a little bit. So, what do you see? Nothing I would describe as interesting. Please stop distracting me. Okay, if that's really what you want, it is. Aradia, can you stop fucking bothering her? What are we even doing here? Serving as, the attendants for this super ancient and wise goddess, or whatever the fuck she is? If all you're gonna do is get in her face and hassle her about whatever cool shit is going on in her visions. Okay, I'm sorry. I was just really curious. No sign of her yet?
No.
Terezi, seriously, it's been years here. When are you gonna give up and accept that she's probably what? You know, dead. Terezi Vriska's dead. And none of us are gonna get to see or hear from her ever again. Not even you. And you know what I think? I think that even if you did find Vriska, it wouldn't matter. Because I don't even think she deserves your friendship anymore.
Oh?
If she cared about you as much as you care about her, she wouldn't have fucked off like this forever. Driving you crazy with doubt and uncertainty, making you chase her through the infinite nothingness till you almost starve to death? She would have at least given you the courtesy of closure. That is not what Vriska is like, John. Yeah, I guess not. So why are you still trying so hard? Aradia stretches her arms over her head and yawns. She launches from her perch at the edge of the meteor facility with a little somersault, coasting through the air so that she's level with Solace's face. She gives one of his horns a light tap to affirm her proximity. She talks in 5-word sentences, so even I'm still in the dark about what it is she's really trying to accomplish. From what I've pieced together, she still needs to stay in these trances or we're all doomed. Alrighty, being doomed is all I ever used to talk about. Even I've chilled out on it. Even I've chilled out on all that shit now. So you don't believe her? Shrug. All I'm doing here is keeping you company like usual. The work is important.
See?
Okay, the least she could do is tell us why we're all doomed. Doomed is not a word I would use to describe the condition of those on this world. Even if my work is unsuccessful, the stakes for everyone here have nothing to do with the issue of mortality. To frame the matter that way would be misleading. To the extent that it is my naturally endowed duty to defend the innocent from wanton acts of destruction, from degradation and dissolution, it is also my duty to tell the truth to those I protect. And the simplest statements of truth for all of you to know is this: we are the lucky ones. Calliope lets out a long, thin sigh from between the teeth of Jade's corpse. It's more for effect than anything, as corpses don't actually need to breathe. We are the ones fortunate enough to live in a reality that is beyond the influence of the prince. Who the fuck is the prince?
I never told anyone this before. Well, not anyone who cared enough to listen, at least. But for a long time, I felt like there's something wrong with me. Like I'm missing something important. I think that everyone else has that allows them to be satisfied with the way things are. Like, there's a huge void inside my heart, and I'll never have what I need to be happy. Not by myself, at least. Does that sound stupid?
No, I feel like that too. I felt like that for years. Like, maybe I died, or maybe everyone else died in the medium, and I'm the only one who realizes it. Like, I'm the kid in the movie where Bruce Willis is dead as a surprise at the end. Except Ghost John crawled back inside my skin and he's wearing it like a Halloween costume. That's why there's a huge hole inside me. Maybe that's why it feels like you're the only person who understands me anymore. Because we both got big howling ghost holes inside us. Talking to each other makes us feel less lonely. That's what we did, Terezi. We filled each other's holes. What?
Reread what you just wrote, dumbass. Dumpass.
Terezi, get your mind out of the gutter. Thought we were having a serious moment here.
John, I am serious.
I think this is the end for me.
I'm dizzy and sick and I can't smell straight. I feel like I could just lie down in this endless sea of nothing and just go to sleep. At this point, it would almost be a relief if I didn't wake up.
You don't have to do that, Terezi. You could just come home. Please come home.
Then what?
I don't know. We hang out and stuff.
John, you still don't get it. Earthsea is not my home.
Do you really miss Alternia that bad?
I did for a long time. More than Karkat and Kanaya did, at least, but I have no idea anymore. Alternia, Vriska, Scrub,
So confused about what I want. Ugh, I thought that not killing her would make me feel better. But instead, it's like I retcon a huge chunk out of my soul. I erased an action of regret and grief and just turned it into something I can't stop chasing after. Maybe what I did was necessary to save everyone else, but sure didn't save me. So maybe that means the only thing left to do is let her go? I can't, John. Not even while I'm on death's door, apparently. Terezi. I think it's time for me to go. Goodbye, John. No, please go. I mean, no, please go. No, please don't. Please, please don't do this. If you just go off and die and I never hear from you again, I don't think I can handle that. John, stop this. You're embarrassing both of us. Terezi, if you have no intent of ever coming home, why did you even bother calling me? Were you really telling me that you didn't want me to talk you out of it? I really didn't. Then what did you want? Let's say I just wanted to give you the courtesy of closure. Dead Jade's eyes slowly flutter open. She gets to her feet and brushes down her skirt. Are you done working for the day? The work is never finished, not until I am able to deal with the prince myself. And when will that be? The meteor is passing beyond the fall of night. Dead Jade, standing half in light, half in darkness, looks up at the sky. Not soon enough.